Remember when hashtag Stop Asian Hate was a thing? Yeah, that was months ago, right? And all of those activists, they moved on to different things since then. I don't know, maybe talking about how Kyle Rittenhouse is still a murderer and other fucking stupid shit like that. But I'm still here and I'm still talking about stopping Asian hate because you know what? Nobody should be attacked just for the fact that they are a certain race, a certain ethnicity. I do think that is fucking retarded and racism at its core. I don't really understand it at all, and I see it a lot, okay? Well, not really a lot, and it's not something that I search out, but whenever somebody blames something on just a group of people by virtue of them just being said group of people, like, if they're Jewish, oh, it's because they're Jews, and obviously it's like, that doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, or just blacks in general, or white people in general, it's like, none of that shit really fucking makes sense, and it's just so absurd, okay? It's always the actions of the person, not the person itself that's to blame. You know what I mean? Well, that's not a popular sentiment, at least within the bounds of New York City. And this is something I haven't done in a while. Just crazy news stories out of New York City. It should almost be its own little recurring segment. Okay, so you got a Thai model. I'm not even going to begin to try to pronounce her name. It's fucking absurd. You can see it. It's Bew Jirajariyawetch. Her name's Betty for the extent of the article here. She's visiting New York City, 23-year-old who just moved to New York City. Sorry, my mistake. Says she's lucky to be alive after being put in a chokehold, punched in the face, and robbed at 4 a.m. in a Manhattan subway mugger as anti-Asian violence soars nearly 500% from 2020. Yes, stop Asian hate. Hashtag stop Asian hate, right? An aspiring model recently moved from her native Thailand to pursue her dreams in the Big Apple, said that she is lucky to be alive after a brutal beating in the subway by a deranged mugger last month. In an exclusive interview with the Daily Mail, Betty, 23, said the horrific 4 a.m. attack was after she was going home from a concert is still a blur. Betty's last name was grabbed from behind in a chokehold, thrown to the ground, punched in the face, and robbed of her purse at 34th Street Herald Square station on November 22nd. In a shocking assault caught on video, and this is why I'm going with this story, because there's actual video evidence of it, and she's filed the police reports, but as opposed to somebody saying it's a hate crime, and then it just comes out later that she ended up hiring a couple of brothers who were immigrants in order to stage it and try to create a race war in the country, but I bet you probably didn't hear about this story, so I might as well just go ahead and run it up. Yeah, the assault, was caught on video, captured the out-of-control crime plaguing the city. The mugger, who police have yet to identify, can be seen dragging Betty along the northbound platform, servicing D, F, N, and Q lines, specific on the third letter, before throwing her into the ground. The photo taken by the model shortly after the assault shows her face bruised and swollen and dry blood near her nose and a burst blood vessel in her left eye. Why? Because she was Asian and she had a purse. New York City saw a surge in violent assaults in the subway in the year she was attacked. Yeah, we talked about one too. There was some goofy bitch who just got out of the hospital for being fucking insane, hip checking somebody into the oncoming subway. I forget exactly when that was and exactly what video that was, but yeah, there's been some crazy shit happening in New York. Thanks, Bill de Blasio. Tell us more about how we need mandates in order to keep us safe, right? I guess a mandate of not being Asian. That'll keep you safe. Anti-Asian violence has also plagued the city this year with 127 attacks against Asians, a nearly five-fold increase from the 28 attacks in 2020. Okay. Another really uncomfortable fact that we're going to have to reconcile is who's perpetuating these attacks, okay? At large, okay, what is a more societal problem between Asians and their attackers? Might want to try to reconcile that at one point or another, but not for me to discuss at this time, right? We don't know who this could be. If we just have a couple of still frames and a little bit of investigative journalism to figure out who perpetuated said attack. There were so many police officers at the subway after the attack, but no one was there before. I don't want anyone else to go through this or to be hurt by this person. This cannot keep happening. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Asians aren't really my thing. But I can tell you a beautiful person's a beautiful person, and obviously, it's like, damn it. Right there. There we go. Gotta crook my arm a little bit. But yeah, that's somebody who very much, could be having a successful modeling career, after everything happened, obviously. But yeah, you got a little bit of the footage there of her being dragged, and isn't that fun to see? But yeah, if you want to watch the rest of it, feel free to watch it on your own time. That's up for you to decide, I guess. But yeah, just still frame of the image, and yeah, obviously getting thrown to the ground at 4 a.m. But yeah, New York Crime Stoppers have released a short clip of the unidentified mugger jumping a subway turnstile before the attack and offering a $3,500 reward. Interesting. Okay, for information that leads to his arrest. Betty, who moved from Thailand this summer to study at the Global ESL Academy, said that she was returning to her home in Queens after she went to see Dabaway, I don't know, a Thai American rapper. That sounds horrible. Okay. In concert at SOB's in West Village when the attack took place. In the harrowing video, the mugger holds her down as he punches her in the head 4 times, sexually assaults her. What the fuck? That wasn't enough to rob her. He also had to do a couple of squeezies. What a fucking creep. Before briskly walking away. Betty can be seen sitting up dazed, then getting to her feet before surveillance video cuts off. She said they took all the money that she had on her and her personal identification, but left her iPhone. Very smart mugger, not, grabbing everything that's there, but whatever. New York City Crime Stoppers, yeah, again, $3,500 if you find information relating to her release. Yeah, rather tall-looking girl, I guess. That's kind of interesting. This week, last name of Betty, said that she finally built up the courage to return to the subway line where she was attacked as she refuses to give up on a modeling career. Oh, good for her. Moving to New York City was a natural decision for her. Yeah, I think that's where most of the modeling agencies are, so that totally makes sense. According to her attorney, Eric Parnes, Bew does not want this negative experience to discourage her thoughts on New York. Well, you know what? Hey, eventually it'll get better, and just gonna take some time. Bew has been unquestionably traumatized. No shit. She has been struggling with a lack of appetite and persistent nightmares. Well, you're a model. You better get used to a lacking appetite. Just saying. Living in a foreign country without family is already a difficult situation, let alone coping with such an unwarranted attack of violence. However, Bew finds the strength in speaking out about this and continues to push forward with her aspirations. She shared her story, the pressure of the New York PD, and gets more tips leading to an arrest, and put the focus more on the disturbing trend of violence. You don't fucking say. Oh, and in another story, we got a twofer here. That's good. The day before Betty was robbed, soccer player Akeem Loney, 32, was fatally stabbed in the neck at Penn Station around 12:15 a.m. It's Penn Station, okay, so 12:15, and especially in New York, not a dangerous hour theoretically to be out, but whatever. Loney, who was homeless, had been lying down or napping on one of the subway seats when he was attacked. Okay, still, you shouldn't be sleeping in Penn Station, but the degeneration of New York, it just kind of goes without saying. Lying down, napping, yeah, when he was attacked. Police are also hunting for the man who allegedly threatened to kill a woman on the subway with 2 wooden spikes after making anti-white statements late last month. But again, I didn't hear anything about that story. That's fucking nuts. The suspect wielded large shivs at a 46-year-old woman near the 59th Street subway station in Manhattan, cops said. Cool. The man who has an Ankh hieroglyphic symbol on his face. Should be very difficult to come across somebody with that. I was traveling, maybe he's a big Tommy Thayer Kiss era fan. Traveling on the subway at 7:20 a.m. On the 4 train on November 29th. Fucking, that would be crazy, okay? A guy with a big Egyptian symbol on his face, wielding wooden shivs, trying to stab you. That's a bit fucked. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. But yeah, you can see the wonderful graphics that the New York City Police Department have released. Yeah, year over year, even from 2020, when crime was, at its peaks, it was still going up, okay? Like felony assaults, murders, shooting victims, rapes, robberies, overall crimes in general, they're all up, okay? They're all up by a notable margin, okay? Oh, and there's Stickman right there, and he's got the sticks in his pockets and in his hand as well. But yeah, man, all this stuff might be a little bit niche, and like I said, I didn't hear about at least 2 of those stories, and I at least grabbed another one from something else that I covered, and we have a bunch of other horrific crimes that have happened in New York City proper itself that I can't think about, but I know talking about it on a semi-regular basis is something that I think is pretty important, because a lot of these crimes don't get the proper publication or publicity that they do deserve. But the absolute downfall of New York City is atrocious. And after all of the good work of Rudy Giuliani and then even Michael Bloomberg just continuing it a little bit forward, just completely undone in the mayoral tenure of Bill de Blasio, he should be wearing that, man, and he should be a one facing a lengthy prison term. But that's not how this shit works. So yeah, and somebody's got to call it out, because then you got and this is how we're gonna end. We got Mayor Bill de Blasio weighed in on the rise of subway crime as the city swells with holiday travelers. These individual incidents are very troubling. So I guess some asshole in a tiny room in northern Alberta might as well call out the crimes that are happening in New York City, because at least the mayor, or the guy who's going to be the mayor for the next couple of weeks, ain't going to be doing fuck all about it. So here's hoping that New York eventually makes a recovery. Might not happen in my lifetime, but hopefully sometime soon, especially for the people that are there. You guys deserve better than that. So with that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.